Peace. Welcome back to the blog. My name is OnenO. Thank you for tuning in. Today's subject is going to be one that's rather close to my heart, which is the subject of meditation, but I want to talk about it through the perspective of being a musician and what benefits you could actually have by including a practice of meditation into your life as a musician. So I've been playing and writing music for, about the last 20 years or so. I've been playing since I was about 7 or 8 years old, and touring as a professional starting around age 19. I was fortunate enough to succeed in LA, and I toured with Rihanna and a bunch of other incredible artists. And then I eventually branched out of touring and got much more into writing and producing. And now I make all of my own music, being an EDM artist. And you've probably seen some of my stuff here on my YouTube channel. But there's been one major element that has helped impact my creative abilities, and it is obviously meditation. But I want to explain why I think that is. First of all, I think as a musician, there's something really interesting with the idea that silence is actually part of your creative tools when you're making music. So sometimes, for an example, just a pure music example, when I'm building a section of the song that's getting really intense, and then I want the drop to hit super hard, usually I'll put just a little bit of silence right before that drop in the chorus, just to give your brain the contrast of quiet and then loud. And so let's expand this idea to the creative process. Sometimes I notice, especially when I'm on a beautiful hike out here in nature, out here in Nashville at this lake, it's still a little bit noisy, but it's beautiful nature sounds. But I remember one time I was hiking out in Sedona, and it was so quiet. All you could hear is a little wisp of wind as it's like going through the trees or through your ears. But other than that, it was so silent. And I remember in this moment, I was going through a bit of a creative block. And I felt like every song I was making was kind of the same, and that there was nothing really original coming through in my music during that phase. And I noticed when I was walking in nature and it was purely silent, my imagination began to kick in, and I started getting all of these ideas for songs. And that was maybe about 7 years ago now, and ever since then, I've realized that there's this beautiful yin-yang between needing to experience silence in order to actually boost your creative process. So then I started making it an actual thing. I started meditating on purpose, specifically so that I could still my mind, still my body, experience silence, and then in that silence, like a vacuum of space, ideas would just start swarming in. And then I would pull from those ideas while I'm now sitting at my computer and creating a song. So I think that there's something magical about being a musician and meditating. It's a tool that we have to be able to clear out the clutter of our brain, let all the stress and garbage and overactive thinking dissolve, and then what happens next is musical ideas just begin to pour in. We don't often think of silence as being a tool that we can use as musicians, but it is actually one of the most powerful tools if you think about it. In fact, if you really analyze music and notes and rhythms and patterns, everything is measured by the punctuating moment of the note, but then the silence that is in between it until the next note. And that's how we get all different kinds of rhythms and patterns and grooves, is that we're playing both with noise and with silence at the same time. And I know that in our modern culture, we have so much stimulus going on that it's actually hard to find that place of silence and stillness in order to be able to tap into this type of innate creativity. But I find it to be one of the most useful tools that I have to boost my creativity and therefore get new ideas and new songs come out of me that have never really come to me before. So if you're new to this whole idea of meditation, there's two things that I could give you as a resource. The first one is go into YouTube, type in guided meditation, and just start experiencing different teachers that can help you find the stillness of your mind. I would say, as a general rule, try to find meditations that are not based on visualization or activating your imagination. So instead, search for meditations that are based on breath work. And the yoga word for breath work is pranayama. So you could type in pranayama, and you could also just type in breath work and then meditation. And that'll give you meditations that are specifically designed to help you count your breath, follow a rhythmic pattern of your breath to help you get out of your thinking mind, whereas visualization meditations kind of stimulate and activate the thinking part of our brains. The second resource that I want to give you is that I have actually made about 50 meditations that I put here on YouTube for free. All throughout the year 2017, I was doing a series called Meditation Mondays. And every Monday for that whole year, I put out a free guided meditation. And all of my meditations are mostly based on breathwork and pranayama. Another resource that I have to offer you is I actually made a 21-day meditation course that's available through my website. After I completed my yoga teacher training, where I did a 200-hour yoga teacher training, I realized that I was very passionate about teaching meditation because I find this place within me very naturally, and so I love to communicate that and share that with other people. And so I thought designing a 21-day course would be the best way to help you build not only just the habit of meditation, but an understanding of the goal of meditation, how to get into that silence and that clear space where you can step outside of your thinking, find the silence, and then hear the inspiration. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments down below, and we'll make this a conversation. If you want to check out my meditation program, pop on over to my website at iamoneno.com. And until I see you again along your journey, oneness in sound, I am OnenO. Peace.